So, servus. Second video. I just make a quick repeat of yesterday. I'm using this for my tracking method on every stock, just every time the same. V under A, high low, ABC, LMMT, V under A. Sorry for the bad bad voice. I was shouting a little bit much yesterday. So I think you can hear it. So let's already jump into the stocks. So I already showed that yesterday. I will once again kind of repeat what I was saying yesterday, just for people who maybe didn't saw it yesterday. So for the overall thing, this is our V, high low, ABC. This is our top. In here, I think I can add this now. This was our lower high. After that comes our M, which you can perfectly mark here because you can combine it with your B trend line from the low of B. In here you can say, okay, you fall from your lower high, bounce on it, bounce on it, bounce on it, bounce on it, fall under it, reject it, one last time reject it, and then you fall to your T target. So your last time to sell before you fall to your new low. Then you have your V under A. So you fall under, we'll mark that so you can see it. You fall under the low of the previous A. Then you did your high low. And then you're going to A. You broke out of this perfect trend line. And now you're on the way to A. The thing is, normally you could say, okay, now I'm maybe waiting on the breakout retest. In my opinion, it's very possible that the retest of this breakout is just the pullback of A. I mean, you could do both. You could even say this little thing here. If you go on the 4 hour, on the 4 hour we didn't even touch it yet. But you could even say you do both. So you breakout retest, and then you go to A and pull back to the breakout, maybe. For the next target, after A, I mean, A is normally at the level of T. It can be a little bit lower, it can be a little bit higher, or in a case which I'm showing later on, you can just do ABC in 1, 2, 3 candles. But for normal moving stocks, let's say we make our A peak and we make our A pullback and retest. The next target for this is B, and B is normally at the level of M. Can be again at it, over it, a little bit over it, a little bit under it. But the pullback of B you can measure. So if this is our, let's say A pullback is at 873, then you take your FIB retracement. No, not this one. You take a FIB retracement, go to the peak of B. Let's say B peak is at 132.65. Your B pullback is depends how you put your settings on the fib retracement, but it's the 50% or the 0.5. So after that, you go to B, get your peak, pull back to the 0.5. Also can be a little bit higher, a little bit under, but the fib retracement should be quite exact. And then you go up to your C. For the C, there are two ways. First of all, the bullish one is you break over your last peak and perfect wherever it goes. After you get your new C, your new peak, you're doing again your lower high, your midpoint, your T, V, blah, blah, blah. If you're making a new high over the peak, you're not going under here again, normally. You will make a higher, a higher low. If you reject your last peak, or if you reject lower than this, your next target is also LMT, but you will make a new low, and that's bearish. For FCEL, you already did. This was your all-time high. Here is your lower high. Here's even a lower high. So my expectations really, in my opinion, I mean, you can't say that really right now, but in my opinion, you won't break your last peak. In my opinion, you will make a low high and go down. But I mean, who cares? We are playing this, and that's it. So next, Bed Bath and Beyond. I said yesterday they are selling warrants on Friday. That was my mistake. Sorry. The warrants are sold today. I will start with the bearish version. Because I already have it here. So for just repetition of yesterday, you have a V, your high low, A, B, C, your peak, your lower high, your midpoint. Yeah, A is here. You can measure it with your B trend line, your bounce, fall under it, reject, break it, fall under it again, last reject, and then you fall. And now the interesting part for the bearish one is yesterday or last week Friday, we would have done our T peak, and the next thing would be downside to a new low, which also you could say is you have here your M, you fall down, you come up again, and here you do your W pattern with a higher right side. The same we did in February. This is your M, you fall, you come up again, and here is perfectly your double. If I'm drawing it right, but here is your W with a higher right side, and after that comes the new low. I already said yesterday, I don't care about fundamentals. I don't care about news. In my opinion, the news are the explanation for the move, not the reason for the move. I will show it on another stock what I mean with that. So today warrants are coming out, and of course everyone is saying it's not dilution. Even Bed Bath & Beyond and even GameStop is saying it's not dilution because you have to exercise these warrants to get shares, and then it's dilution. Yeah, but the thing is, these shares are still there. They have to be there to be exercised. So okay, they are not immediately on the market, but they are still, you can say, in second row. So it's dilution. They just call it different, but okay, doesn't matter. If we see this drop, it's the perfect news. If we knife on Bed Bath & Beyond, you will read in the news, yeah, they diluted, blah 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 blah. You know, perfect news. For the price target, nothing is changing. So you will make a new low if you drop. Something under, something under 358. If you're making a new all-time low, maybe, but you don't have to. For the even more bullish tracking, you make a higher low here, higher low of this, and after that everything is the same. Your A target is $12.54. B target is still after the same, 36. Then 0.5 pullback, and then C, and if you break it or not, doesn't matter. For the bullish variant, because I'm really 50-50 on this. For the bullish variant, we already did our T. We already did our V under A. Let's show this. We already did our V under A. Higher low, right? I didn't point this. So higher low, we would already have done higher low. And we would already have done our A peak here. And in that case, the A pullback would be finished too. So for the bullish variant, your next target is $36. That would mean the warrants are really bullish and all the hyping people were right. But will be an interesting day. Just saying, because everyone is saying today will be a very volatile day. Yeah, I agree to the upside or to the downside, but I could also see that you may be doing nothing today. And do it till end of the week, and if not, next week. This hyping of any certain dates is most of the time very disappointing. Okay, next one is grab. To yesterday, nothing really changed. I mean, you're at the peak, lower high, midpoint, which you can't really measure because you don't have a B, but it is somewhere in here. Your T is fixed. Your V under A, which you, I mean, okay, let's say it's a V because you don't have an A, because here is nothing. You're high or low, and you already done your A peak. With the movement of yesterday, I mean, it's only a little bit, but in my opinion, you broke it already. Yeah, in my opinion, the A peak, the A pullback is finished. Your next target should be something around $9 to $11 for B, and if you get your B, you measure from your A low to the B peak, your 0.5 for the pullback, and again after that you go to C. So blink, and that's the reason why I was saying before I will show on another stock why news don't matter. I was saying in the last video yesterday that ends today that news are explaining the move, but are not the reason for the move. So we had 25% yesterday. The news was that Blink Charging is getting a contract from the UK government. So if I'm not an insider on this or a government official worker, why the fuck did I knew that the stock will go up? Why did we already run 14% in pre-market without the news? I mean, okay, you can so say, yeah, someone was talking, but it's there. Why? I think that's the perfect example where you can say, no, it's just fake. All these stocks will do what they are supposed to do. And the news will be written for these moves. Nothing more. I will also show that in the next stock, but for me, it's clear as day. So for your next target, something around 3.72 for A, little pullback, going to be $26. Again, taking the low of A, peak of B for the 0.5 pullback, and after that C, and then break it or not break it. I don't really have an alternative for this because right now it just looks stupid. So SAVA, my little squeeze play. Sorry. Just because I mentioned that yesterday at 5 minutes in the stock right before the stock. So same thing here. We had what was that? A 54%. This one, a 77% rush. In after hours, I think a week ago or something like that, and nothing was written. I searched Google, I looked at TradingView, no news. 4 days after that, TradingView, and I think only TradingView, wrote, yeah, the owner, the CEO of this company was buying a lot of shares with his own money a day before. Not a day before this move. No, a day before they wrote this news. And in my opinion, they didn't know what to write. They searched for anything they can write to explain this move. But okay. So for the tracking, I will show that again what I showed yesterday. This stock is quite always doing the same. You knife down, you're doing bullshit. One candle, gap fill. You knife down, doing bullshit. One candle, nearly gap fill. You knife down, doing bullshit. One candle, gap fill. Knife down, doing bullshit, gap fill. Always the same. So look what we did. We knife down, doing bullshit, and now, I mean, would be nice. For the fractal tracking, this whole thing is finished. You have your V, you have your hello, A pullback, B pullback, C. Lower high, midpoint, and then you have your T. And here is your fall again. You already did your high. You already did your high low. And right now, you're at the point of doing the gap fill. For the A, your big A, would be at and over. I mean, yeah, this would be your A. This would be your A at $40. Your B would be at $51. And your C, I mean, break it or not break it. It's a medical company, you never know. For the small tracking and for the alt, if you zoom in, you can say, this is your V, it's the same. This is your small higher low. This is your small A. This is your small B. And this would be your small C. Would mean we pull back, making our small LNT and go to V under A. Here, then you higher low and then you go. Can happen, don't has to happen, but it would be the same like this here. You have your V going up, doing bullshit, and then when it's finished, it just gap fills. Just saying, this is not a safe play. Absolutely not. And in my opinion, you can't, because of the weird price movements and the quick price movement, you can still try to track it, but it's a lot of is interpretation. This stock has contracts. The safest way, if because of a risky play, but the safest way to play this, if you want to play it, no financial advice, buy 5 to 6 months out contracts. They should be still cheap. I bought them for 8 to 5 cents. And if you're doing this gap fill move, they will be $15 a contract. But I think if you are waiting for confirmation, you will just miss it because of the stupid movement. Next, C3.AI. I start here again with the bearish variant. Just for the repetition of yesterday, you have your peak, lower high, MT, V. Here's your A, here's your B. The stupid C, because it's only $1 higher than the B, and it was a really big B. So here your peak, your lower high, your midpoint, and here, because of the bearish variant, that would mean we did our T in the last 2 weeks, and you would still need a new low, and then your A price target would be $20. B pullback C would be the same. Would be the same like this. You're going up, doing a T and fall. For the bullish variant, and I'm leaning now already really more to the bullish variant. Would mean we already did our T. We already did our V and A. We could already, maybe we already did our higher low. It is just small, so yeah, maybe. But in my opinion, for my taste, we are already too high. My breaking target was 1866 to say that the bearish version is wrong. And after the move yesterday, even more. We have a gap here. I really think we will go up, fill this gap, maybe a little pullback, breakout, maybe breakout retest, but breakout then on you go to A. You should always have an alt, but right now I'm bullish on C3.AI. Next target is $30, and time-wise, I would say at least at latest January. Latest January for $30. Next one, GNS. I already shot it yesterday and said all the tinfoil about the good or bad CEO of this company. You have your peak, your lower high, midpoint, T. Extended hours. Yeah. High low finished. A peak already finished. And in my opinion, we're still in the phase where you can say, yeah, a pullback is also finished. And we are just waiting for the breakout. The alt was you're not finished with the A pullback, and you still have to do 50 cents for the breakout retest. I also said if you break under 34 cents, something is wrong. So if everything is right, or at least after the pullback, your next target is $87. Sounds stupid, I know, but I mean, it wasn't the first time GNS was doing that. In what was it? In 2022, GNS found its bottom here, and if you zoom in, you can make the same thing. This was your C. Here is your lower high. Somewhere in here is your midpoint. Here is your T. No, here was your M. Here is your T last time to there. Here is your V. Here is your higher low. And in here is your ABC. And back then we did 3000% in what? How long did that take? 35 days? No. 35 days. Yeah. I mean, it looks quick. I mean, 35 days is quick. So, 3000%. 3000% is $28. So, it can happen, especially here are no options. It's only shares. And you see that so many times that stocks without an option chain can move like crazy. So yeah. Next is OCGN. Nothing really changed from yesterday. I mean, we had a nice green day. For the overview, C peak, middle point, your T, V, high, low, ABC. Thing is, again, you already did here your C, your lower high, your first lower high. This one is finished because lower high, midpoint, T, V, high, low, in the breakout already. And for the bullish variant, next target $70, breakout retest pullback, B 0.5 pullback, C. for the bearish variant, you zoom in and say V, high or low. Somewhere in here would be your little a, here would be your little b, and here you're coming to your little c. My price target is $16, and I will take, no financial advice, but I will take profit there. The shitty part about this is we are expecting a pullback here anyways. It doesn't matter if it's the bearish version or the bullish version, because in the bearish version here is your peak, in the bullish version here is your A. But in either way you're getting a pullback. But if you, let's say, if you drop under, if you drop under $9, I think it's a bearish version, and you have your second lower high, and the stock is gonna die again. If you came up here, get your A peak, coming here, and bounce again, that's looking bullish. Then you're playing the run to be. FFAI, sorry. It was also a nice day yesterday. Just for the overview. Peak, low high, middle point. Last time to sell. Unrealistic price targets. T is your A. M is your B. And C is up there. Again, as I said yesterday, this is not happening. End of story. It just isn't. For the realistic price targets, you have your peak. Here is your L. Midpoint. Last time to sell. You already did your V. You already did your higher low. With the move yesterday, I mean, nice 5%. I really think, yeah, the higher low is in. So the next thing you're looking is a break of this trend, maybe a retest, and then you go to A. My price target is $4 or $5, can be lower, can be higher, then a little pullback. Your B target is $11, and the point where you reject is 150 something. You won't break this shit. Just saying, because of breakout, retest, FFAI doesn't have to do this. You saw that back here. You have your V, your low is low, higher low, and then you just go. That's why I said at the beginning of the video, sometimes you have time in this point, and after that you just do this. You still can find ABC here. I mean, if you go on the 1 second chart or on the 1 minute chart, it's, yeah. The ABC is still here in here, but there's just no entry anymore if this is happening. So yeah, looks good. Last thing, Weeble for today. I didn't show that yesterday. The thing with Weeble is I was bullish here because I broke my own rules. Okay, wait. Let's start from the beginning. We have our C, low high, midpoint T, V under A, high low. This whole thing is A. This is B, and then is C. I mean, okay, C, break all-time high or reject all-time high. Who knows? the thing why I said I broke my own rules. In my opinion, I thought perfect. In the small tracking, this would be our V, and we are ready to go, and this would have been our T. Even if I saw that we didn't do V under A. And that was the mistake. Because now I want to be bullish. We are going. Well, we didn't. In my opinion, we still need our V under A in the small tracking. So I still think we need anything under 1190. This would be your bottom. After that, higher low, and then you go. Time-wise, I still think that we have a good chance to get our B peak till January. Yeah. But still risky. Always. I mean, in this case, I wouldn't go into position in any way. I wouldn't buy puts because no financial advice. This isn't really making you money. I wouldn't go into calls to just say I don't want to miss the next move. I would just wait. I would wait for $12 and then scale into calls. If you are already in calls, depends how red they are. I mean, if you're green, which I don't think you are, or slightly red, yeah, no financial advice. You should go out of them, or if you don't care, hold them. But right now, there's just no position in this play right now. Just waiting for a pullback to be finished. Okay. So this was the update for today. Let's see if I'm doing the update tomorrow. I mean, if a lot of things are changing, yes. Yeah, let's just see. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.